one calculator left, so I need to borrow that. I just need a photo ID. Uh-oh. It's erased. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. Technically, yeah, one more past that. Things about this. It's mine. And it's a little. Yeah, don't worry. All right, guys. So some of you guys said you haven't used it much, and some of you guys said you've never used it before at all. We're going to go through a couple of simple little things, and then I'll show you some more stats-related stuff. So hopefully you've used a scientific calculator before. And what's a scientific calculator? It's when you type in 26 minus 7 and you can still see 26. If you do 26 minus 7 and you only see 7, that ain't what I'm talking about, right? The scientific calculators cost like $16, and they could do 300 freaking things. It's crazy. This guy costs a lot of damn money. So, sorry. But you can rent them. It's way cheaper. So if I do, like I just said, 26 minus 7, I see everything, and bam. Right? Okay. If I then wanted to take the square root of that, well, let's do something more interesting. Let's say if I wanted to divide this by something, I just hit the division symbol, and it's going to assume that I mean divide the last thing I got by something. So if I divide by 11, bam, right? You guys with me? Now, if I then wanted to take the square root of that, and this is key, I will tell you how many places to round your answer to in different situations. You with me? But you never, ever round in the middle of a problem. If I rounded right now, if I had to do the square root of this and I made it 1.73, my answer is not going to be correct because I haven't taken the square root of what it is. So you never round until the end. Right? There may be some places we work with that a little bit, just to make it a little easier. But if I want to take the square root of this, and I don't want to write all these damn numbers out. And by the way, we haven't updated the computers yet. Most of you guys should have where the square root symbol just grows. Anybody have the square root symbol and then a parenthesis like me? All right. If you have the square root in the parenthesis, you do not want to close that parenthesis until you're done with everything that's supposed to be inside that square root. The newer calculators, the square root symbol just grows, so then you're absolutely certain what the hell's in there. The most common mistake with square roots is you come out of the square root too early, and then you're obviously not going to get the right answer because you're not square rooting everything. So here, if I say, now here's one of the most important buttons. See right above the negative? While I'm talking about negatives, ooh, do I have a laser? Oh, you guys gotta watch out. Oh God. No. You'll notice here. What was I going to do? See how there's a negative and there's a minus? Yeah. That's exactly what I just said. If you mean -7, you better use that button. If you want to subtract things, you better use that button. It's just hardwired differently in the calculator. If you don't like that, then go talk to TI. So all I wanted to say, yeah. Right above that negative button is ANS, stands for answer. So it is a memory position. So ANS always has the last number that showed up on the screen in memory. So if I want to take the square root of that, and I don't want to write the whole damn thing out, I say square root of answer. And how do I access this ANS up here? Second. That's like a shift key. Second, negative. So square root of the last thing on the screen. Bang. All right. You don't have to, exactly. I love it. If you want to, just to make yourself feel better, you can. You actually don't have to.
You can also scroll up and press enter. And then it'll bring it back down.
But I don't know if it'll... No, on the newer ones you can scroll.
Oh.
This one, on the older ones you can't scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the newer ones, let me see. Let me do something a little more complicated. Like, what if I had to do like everybody try to do this with 9 divided by 5 times 3 plus 6 times 8 divided by 125. Right? You guys with me?
No.
Well, that's right there. So, what more do you want? You guys with me? Yes, by definition, it's right there. 9 divided by 5 times 3 plus 6 times 8 divided by 125. Some of you guys don't know your order operations. That sucks. This calculator knows order of operations, so if you don't put parentheses in when you're supposed to, it will give you the answer for the shit you put in. So garbage in, garbage out. What is order of operations? Yeah, please excuse my dumbass son. Or dear Aunt Sally. Or last semester, I didn't come up with this, just so you know, but one of my students said, please excuse my deficient algebra skills. I'm like, all right, that works too. Yeah, but that does not mean division comes last. I don't know why everybody always thinks that, but anyway. So let's all hit enter. What's the calculator say this is? Bam. Now, what if and that's not a very long line of stuff, but I just want to get to this really quickly. In this class, we're going to have rather large formulas. And it is the best thing to put it all in at once because you don't want to round each piece because then your answer is going to be off. Are you guys with me? What really sucks is when you put all the shit in and you hit enter and you're like, oh, I was supposed to put a minus there. And let me put the whole thing. And so thank God. Now you could scroll up and hit enter in the newer ones. Or you can hit second enter. And then you can go back and say, oh shit, this is supposed to be a minus, not a divided by. Maybe, right? This divided by was supposed to be a minus. Bam. So if you hit second enter, it'll bring back the last thing you did, and then you can go edit it. If you hit second enter several times, it'll go back through all the stuff you've done. In the newer calculators, which I think most of you have, you can just hit the up arrow, and it'll go back. And you can just hit enter on whatever you want, and then it'll redo it, so then you can edit it. Are you guys kind of with me a little bit? Okay, I like it. Oh, is there anything else I want to show you? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, that works. Let's go to something more statistically oriented. So what looks to be like, for our class, the most important button? Probably the one that says stat, right? Math looks like it might be a nifty button to look at. But, in fact, let me show you something that you wish you knew about back in Math 88, if you had to take Math 88. The very first button is it takes something and makes it a fraction. So like if I did 0.236, and I went, change that to a fraction, please, it'll change it to a reduced fraction.
Oh, shit.
Right? But thankfully, most of my colleagues want you to understand something, not just know which buttons to let your calculator know how to understand something. Right? Okay. So let's go to stat. Everybody hit the stat button. Bam. So this is where I'm going to be able to put data in, analyze data. Here you can see right there I can sort it. Why are there two different sort options? What do you think? Sort A, sort D? Ascending versus descending. I like it. Cool. They're just like whatever you want. So go ahead and hit edit. Just hit, you can either hit the number 1 or you can just hit enter because it's already on the number 1. Bam. Alright, I got some stuff in my lists. Let me see now. Whenever I do technology lectures, it's always like, oh God, because everybody can have like completely different issues. Does everybody have L1, L2, L3? Okay, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I have L1, L3, L.
Alright, so if you ever lose a list, and how do you lose a list? If I wanted to clear list 1, if I want to clear all these values because I want to put other values in there, but I hit delete, oh shit, L1 just fell into the abyss, right? So how do I get it back? You go to Stat, Setup Editor, number 5. So if you hit Stat, number 5, Enter. and then you go stat, edit, that's how we got it in the first place. You should have all your lists now. Thank God, all right. Not exactly David Blaine-esque, but oh well. Your lists are all there. Oh my God, dude. No, David Blaine, too old in a reference. I understand. So let's clear this the right way. Obviously, if I want to clear it, I should probably use the button that says freaking clear. Enter. Tonight, all my list 1 is clear. If your lists are already clear,
How'd you,
don't worry. Sorry.
how'd you do that?
So whenever I want to do something to an entire list, I highlight the list to see how it's highlighted L2. Go up and highlight L2 and then hit clear. Enter. Bam. Go highlight L3, clear, enter. And then you got L4, L5, L6. Don't worry about those things.
I've been cleared.
Now if you go to stat, you can see clear list. So you could clear like several lists. I can clear list 1, and here's, see how list 1 is right above 1? That makes sense. And here's why your calculator has some punctuation, comma, list 2, comma, list 3. And that would do exactly what I just did. It would clear all those lists. You can do it either way. You guys still with me? You'll be using these things a lot, so you'll become second nature. Now, to be really honest with you guys, if we had enough money, which is never going to happen, but we would have more computer labs, and I could teach statistics using Excel. That would be the best, because Excel, or things like Excel database management systems, that would be a great skill to kind of work on by itself. Are you with me? We don't have that kind of money. We don't have enough classrooms with computers, so oh shit, we got to use calculator, the next best thing. You with me? But this should feel a little bit like Excel. Anybody ever used Excel before? I mean, all right, and that's spreadsheet, and you can do all this stuff with the rows, and it would actually do all the stuff we're going to calculate this semester. It would be fantastic. That would be the greatest thing, but we ain't there, so oh well. All right, so let's all try something here. Go to stat, edit, get into your list. Now let's just do the most basic thing. Let's just have it sort something. So, and this is like that problem you guys asked me about earlier with that, the researcher A, and we were doing the frequency list. And you had to count how many things. If that thing was in order, that problem would have been so much easier. And I don't want to sit there and put 40 freaking data points in order. Then 2, and then 3, and then 4. I missed the other 3. No, I want the stupid thing that costs a lot of money to do it for me. Shit. Right? So let's just put some numbers in there. I don't know. 11, 5, 320, 9.5, and negative 55. I like it. Now, if you hit the wrong minus key, the wrong negative key, it's going to give you an error. It's going to say syntax error. Let me do that right now. Let me show you. If I put a negative 6 like that, minus 6, now if it gives you this error and it has a go to option, not go to. Yeah. Those are the same. Go to, it'll put the cursor on the problem. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So I'm like, oh shit, I just put the wrong negative in there. Bam. So go ahead and put that negative 6 in there also. Alright, so let's sort this thing, and then we'll get into some new stuff here. So if I go to stat, let's sort ascending. It's the one we're going to use the most often. From smallest to biggest, that makes the most sense. So you go to sort ascending and you hit enter. Hopefully this makes sense that it's like a function. It needs some input. And I have to tell it which list I want to sort. So then you tell it, I want to sort list 1. So where's list 1? Above the, yeah, so second 1, so get list 1. This is going to be anticlimactic here. Enter, done. But now you go back into your list. Is everybody with me right now? Then you go stat, edit, and now it's in order.
On the main screen, you can just tell the pull list 1 to actually draw everyone.
Yeah, if you would try it. Let me see. If you just put list 1, bam, and you can actually scroll through it. Yeah, so there's a few things we do that you can actually just have it put it up here, but it's visually it's just better to see like that. Okay. Oh, second one, see how above the one key there's an L1? And now if you go back in, it'll be in order. I like it. So problems like that, one way to do the relative frequency of the frequency would be much easier if you just did that. I like it. Now, do you really need a calculator for that? No. You could sort those. It would just be a kind of a pain. And I try to minimize the pain when I can. Data input. You ever seen those things that are like, make $11 an hour from home? I guess nowadays it better be freaking 15 or 20. Normally that's data entry. Entering data. Yeah, because that's horrible. It's the worst. All right. So you're going to suffer through that a few times in this class. That's too bad. It's a part of statistics. It's getting the data in so I can do shit with it. All right, so let's get into some news. Any questions about the calculator that's on your mind at the moment? You should play. I mean, I know you're not like me. Yes.
I like that, you can go back to the.
Oh, okay. Anytime, like if you're somewhere, if you're like in here, or you hit, or your thumb kind of goes the wrong place, and you're like, what the shit is this? Hit second mode. See how it says quit? Second mode will always take you back to the home screen. Second mode, you get to quit. So wherever you are, you're like, what is all this? And second mode, quit, takes you back to the home screen. I like it. Good question. Oh, last little thing. Because this happens, sometimes I'll wander around the room and I'll notice somebody on the calculator that can barely see it. You know, like angling it. Oh, if you hit second, now it's not going to happen on the computer, I don't think. Second, hold the up button. Your calculator will get darker. Second, and the down button, your calculator will get lighter. So it's sort of an early warning. If you're having to push it up to, you'll see when I did that, it said 6, and then it's going to say 7, 8, 9, 10. If you have to put it up to 8 or 9 or 10 to see it, it's an early warning your batteries are going. So just to save you from yourself, you got a calculator like you can barely see it, that's what you have to do.
My batteries are calculated.
I don't know what, if you have a battery jack on you, I don't know what your relationship is with your calculator, but I mean your calculator batteries, yeah. I like it. Alright, let's see. Okay. So anything else about the calculator? And what I was about to say is, just to let you in on me, how I knew early I was going to be a math guy was when I was like 7 or something, and a friend would come over to do, I think, help my parents with their taxes. I would always want to play with their calculator while they were talking. And back in the day, they had calculators that had little red, the numbers on the calculator were all red. I would just sit there and just, oh my God. They're like, oh yeah, he's, something's up with Joe, man. So, but with this, you guys, I'm hoping that some of you guys, especially if you've never used one of these before, hit the math button. Look through this shit. What the hell's that shit? And then look over here, what the hell, there's absolute value. Hey, alright. Hey, there's imaginary part. Holy shit. I don't know if you guys, imaginary numbers, right? Yeah, hopefully everybody here knows about imaginary numbers. Alright. So, let's get into some new stuff. Let me say this to you. Just made this really clear. Sometimes I don't even say anything, but I think I'm going to be at least a little nice and tell you. I'm leaving 1-4 for you to read through and do the homework. I'm not going to discuss 1-4 at all right now. I'm going to discuss it through questions you have. Oh, this is my way of trying to make you look through at least some of the book. Right? So 1-4, to do the homework, you're going to have to read the section. Look at the terminology and use it correctly. You can definitely ask questions about it in class, no problem. You guys wouldn't. Normally I just don't even say that and then wait and see what happens. Okay, so we are going to get into chapter 2. By the way, everybody in the front row, not only tell me if my phone is running out, but also tell me if I forget to move the damn thing. I've had whole lectures where it's facing the other way. There we go. Cool. So chapter 1 was all about the words we use to discuss statistics. Chapter 2 is about, once we've taken a sample, how do I show my sample to people? How do I display the sample? And then later sections are going to be, how do I use the sample to say something about the population? So chapter 2 is all about what's called descriptive statistics, describing my sample to people. And then later sections are what's called inferential statistics, where I infer something about a population from a sample. You guys with me? Sort of? Okay, everybody's averting their eyes. I love it. I have no idea what the hell you do. All right, so chapter 2 is all about graphs. Okay. The first, most basic form of graph that you could do is called a stem and leaf plot.
Those are forms of graphs.
So again?
Those are forms of graphs.
Yeah, stem and leaf plot is one type of, it's actually a table. Right? So there's got to be some kind of visualization of the data. Yeah, I like it. So stem and leaf plot, let me show you an example. Say I had data that looked like this. I'm going to go ahead and put it in order. Obviously, the first step in a lot of these problems is put in the calculator, get it in order. 4, 11, 28, 29, 32, 37, 38, 45. Sure. Okay. So go ahead and write those down. Where are we at? Sorry?
Checking the last number.
39, sorry. Yeah, so for example, if this is our ages of people waiting for a bus, hopefully the 4-year-old is with somebody. There could be two 39-year-old people. Right? Never exclude repetitions. Right? If I wanted the average of something and there were 80 people that were 18 years old, and I just used 118 to calculate the average, it is going to be wrong. So wrong. But I have people that do that all the time. Never exclude repetitions because they are data points. They are different people. They have to be represented. So here's what stem and leaf means. The first stem might be a little bit weird, but let me start. I'm going to start at the second stem. What's the first number? So this would be 1. And then there's 20-somethings. And then there's 30-somethings. So that's why I call this a stem. Because then the leaves come off of it. So what should the first thing be? 0. I like it. So what's the leaf that goes with that stem? 4. And what goes with 1? 1. What goes with 2? 8, 9. What goes with 3? 7, 8. Get out of there, Calvin. 9. 9. Thank you.
We don't count 0. We don't add 0. And there's 30.
Oh, there's a 32. Thank you. I left out my 2. Woo. And then there's 45. Now, yes?
How do you get the leaves? I don't understand how.
So really it's just a question of, I'll do another example. It's got some different numbers here, but there's a whole bunch of things in the 10 to 20s. There's a whole bunch of things in 20 to 30s. So the 10s, the 20s, 28, 29, the 30s, 32, 37, 38, 39, the 40s, 45. If I didn't have any 20s, I would still put a 2 here. It would just be empty. All right, you guys with me? All right, I like it. Now, if you just do this, it's like a bar graph almost, right?
Do you have to put a period between them or just?
No.
No?
Yeah. All right. So if your data was not in order, this is actually one way to get it in order, is to focus on different levels of it. Right? But this is how you make a stem and leaf plot. Now, it's not complete unless you give me a key. Because this could mean 0.4, 1.1, 2.8. 2. This could also mean 101, 208. So you have to give me a key so I know how to read it. Now you can go, well, you can look right there. But I'm not going to show people my list of data. I'm going to show people this. This is my representation of my data. So the key here would just be like 1 means 11. Got it. That's my little key. Because the stem and leaf, if it would have been 0.4, 1.1, 2.8, this would have looked exactly the same. My key would have just said 1 means 1.1. Okay, I like it. So what if my data had instead been what do you got, Joe? I don't know, Joe. 102, 137, 139, 40, 140, 140, 141, 150. Sure. Now, why would the stems not just have 1? Why wouldn't I say stem 1 and then put 02, 37, 39? What seems to be the purpose of a stem and leaf plot? To show you how the data is distributed, really. What would you say? Where's most of the data seem to be for this? Or if this is ages, most people seem to be in the 30s. I mean, bam, your eye just sees it real quick. Now, obviously you can see it up here too, but if it's out of order, no. Right? Okay, maybe. So here, what are my stems going to be? Who thinks they know? 10?
30.
11.
Yeah, is that really meaning 10? That means 100 and something. This means 100 and teens and 120 something. Why did I put 11 and 12? Why did I put those? Because otherwise I'm being dishonest, right? I have to show those are empty, or else I'm being dishonest about how my data is distributed. So this would be 2. Empty. 7, 9. 0, 0, 0, 1. 0. I like it. See? So, whenever I use this word, I always think about, has anybody ever seen the movie Children of the Corn?
Yeah.
Outlander, we have your woman. Right? So I would call this number from this, I would call this an outlier. What is it? Outlier. And that was just for me. So the 102, I would say it's an outlier. You guys have heard that word before. Why am I saying 102 is an outlier? Yeah, it's not following what the rest of the data seems to be clustering around. Now later in the course, we'll have much more specific ways to identify outliers. Seems to have an idea of distance associated with it. It's very far away from where this seems to be clustering around. That's why it's an outlier. So we have to define how to measure distance in statistics. Okay, I like it. So what would the key here be? 102. What the world are you doing? My zeros are hearts. Sorry. All right, how we doing? Is everything? Okay, cool. So don't let that be a problem. I mean, that you really should be like, okay, give me a lot of those. Now, I do have one on the handout that I'm not going to say anything about until we talk about it. I want to see if you can figure out what to do with it. It's a little bit more interesting stem and leaf. Let me do this. Yeah, screw it. I'm going to give you this. You guys are going to still kind of in your groups. I'm going to give you this. I want you just to do the front side. If you want to look at the back, you can. But we haven't talked about how the hell to do the back, so that'll be interesting. So just do the front side. There's a problem down here that I'm just going to let you try to interpret. Because because I'm not going to grade you, so who cares? Here we go. Yeah. Oh, you're way back there. Are you sure? Well, we'll see what happens. They'll figure it out back there.